we can share this. Welcome everyone to the final pitches of Impactathon 2022 at Soka University with Bridges to Business. We have the first set of teams here for sure, and I think the next group are just probably polishing up their slides and will be joining us. And we have an incredible group of judges. But first I want to introduce or reintroduce Mary Patrick Kavanaugh, who is the Director of Special Projects and the creator and the founder of Bridges to Business. So Mary, thanks so much for hosting us. And yeah, if you want to introduce yourself and then lead the way for the judges to introduce themselves.
Hi there, Mary Patrick. I think I just met everyone, so I won't go into too many details other than I now want to welcome you to the Soka University Performing Arts Center. In the background there, we do have a state-of-the-art performing arts center here at Soka, and normally we would have you all here and we would be pitching to you there. So I wanted to set the mood. I want to tell you a little bit. Soka University was founded on the principles of peace, human rights, and the sanctity of life. We are a very small liberal arts institution. We have only around 425 students, but they're from all over the world. So today you're going to meet a bunch of liberal arts students, and they have the opportunity to concentrate in one of 5 areas, but business is not one of them. So the Bridges to Business program serves that need, where it really introduces these critical thinking liberal arts students who have such a global perspective of the world to the idea of entrepreneurship, innovative thinking, design thinking, and this is one of our flagship programs that does that. So you're going to be meeting students from so many different countries today. I'm just going to think like Japan and China, Ghana, Vietnam, Thailand, I know I'm forgetting some countries, so people, Nepal. So you'll learn more about these students as they pitch. So I welcome you all, and I'll ask the judges just to say their names. I'm going to just start with the first judge I see. Isabel Bart, your name and what you do now, so the students can identify you.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. My name is Isabel Bart. I'm the director of the Small Business Development Center at UCI Bill Applied Innovation at the Cove. Working with, I was previously leading a social enterprise incubator called RevHub in Orange County as well. So excited to be hearing your pitches very soon.
Great. Excuse me, Brian.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Brian Walker. I'm the CEO of Picture Motion, a social impact agency for the film and television industry.
Shaheen.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you all. My name is Shaheen Sheikh Sadol. I'm a founder of S Law, which is a law firm dedicated to startup and growth companies in the social entrepreneur space, as well as a fellow for Strawberry Creek Ventures. It's nice to see you. I'm excited to hear all your pitches.
Tom.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Tom Havens, and I was a previous CEO and founder of a company called Catalyst Marketing for about 22 years. And recently, in the past 2 or 3 years, was acquired by a larger company, and I now serve as a senior VP of our creative department. And I'm a firm believer in the School of Humanities.
Right.
And so that's it's something that we actually take at heart here at the company that I work for. And I'm super excited to meet you guys. And if you're nervous, don't be, because I think we're all just excited to meet you and take a look at what you guys got. So looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Melody.
Hi, everyone. My name is Melody Estrada. I am the founder and CEO of Me & Co., a marketing studio that focuses on amplifying diverse founders. And during the day, I am a program manager for an LA-based accelerator called Grid 110. But I'm so stoked to get to meet you and learn more about your companies.
And Dave.
Yeah, hey everyone. Yeah, excited to be here. Dave Landa. I'm the CEO of Kintone Corporation. It's a U.S. subsidiary of a Japanese public company that provides a digital workplace platform and a no-code coding solution platform. So really excited to be here and to see all of your presentations. Thank you.
Okay, I'll hand it back to you, Neethal.
Great. Thank you. Thanks so much. And we're in good time. So why don't we go ahead and have the first team, which is AA Energy. Just a reminder for all teams, we want you to have a timekeeper and really watch time on your own. So that's 5 minutes for the pitch, and we have 4 minutes for the Q&A. So whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and share screen and start.
Hello, everybody. Have you even taken a look at the night sky, and do you know what you see? So our project is about that issue, the fact that you can see, and true darkness is overtaken by sky glow, and the luminance of stars is replaced by artificial light. We are AA Energy. Our initiative is to take care of light pollution and decrease the environmental stressors. So why is this a problem? So for 2014 Nobel Prize in Physics, it was awarded to invention of blue light diode. The invention of blue light diode was a discovery on one end, but then it was also a threat to the environment and wildlife on the other. So for our specific initiative here, we are trying to focus on Southern California's coastal areas and then take care of the light pollution surrounding those areas. So I am Arohi Bhatrai. I'm third-year life science student, passionate about human health and research here at Soka University of America.
And I am Elisa Pinkham. I'm a second-year life science student who's a stargazing and environmental enthusiast. So artificial light causes problems for an array of species, but we're specifically focusing on marine life. Approximately 10,000 hatching sea turtles die every year due to artificial lighting, and it's because they move away from the sea thinking they're moving towards natural light. And while we don't think much about zooplankton, they play a vital role in the marine ecosystem's food web. So if they're affected, the entire food chain is altered, which also negatively impacts communities who rely on these marine ecosystems. So what we want to do is to create an online platform that would allow youth members and community members to display their artwork, and we'd sell those artwork and use the profits to work towards an efficient street lamp design throughout coastal areas where marine life is affected. So 85% of this profits would go towards this cause, while 15% will go back to the artists themselves. And so this both brings awareness to youth and community members about the ecological impact of light pollution, while also working together towards a common goal to mitigate the issue. And the reason why we specifically focus on street lamps is because it's ubiquitous along the coast, and so it has a more direct impact.
So for the profit management side of it, we're trying to look at the street lighting management. So we want to cut off the most intensity as possible towards the clear sky. So we're going to use the full cutoff lamp. Specifically for the profit management strategies, we're trying to design a street light where we're going to use solar energy, which is going to cut off a lot of energy wasted. And then we're also going to use fully cut off lights. So we're going to employ a technology to design low reflectance surfaces so that the reflections is really low. And then we're going to use low angle spotlights. We're going to use dimmers, motion sensors, and timers so that we could reduce the illumination levels. This is important because humans and humankind is almost on the verge of losing the threatened species. And then the major loss would be that due to our unawareness about that loss, the essence of life would be lost.
In the city of Los Angeles, $42 million goes into maintaining and monitoring over 200,000 lights. So this results in around $200 being required for each light to work. So you're using this as kind of a baseline on how much it would cost for Southern California to replace street lamps on Southern California. We also use this chart to kind of see that solar energy is much more efficient and costly efficient than traditional street lamps as well.
So who else is trying to work this problem out is there's a group of students, high school students from Phoenix, Arizona, who have been working to address light pollution. And then we also have a team of UCLA-led research who have been very focused on how to check for the mating rituals and then how the intensity of light plays a role in it. So particularly our skill here, what we're adding to it would be that I've been learning GIS for a while now. So my experience or like my skill in GIS would help us combine the light data and then the environment data, and then see where exactly the lights have to be installed.
And we're also actively trying to get community members to be a part of this project as well. And so for our business model, we're not specifically targeting beneficiaries, but mainly funders, because our project relies on the sales of art to hopefully replace most of these street lamps, but it wouldn't be able to replace all. So we want to focus on funders as well. And we do this because light pollution is harming marine life, and we want to do this through involving community members through engagement. And it's an opportunity to contribute to marine life diversity and sustainability. And we plan to measure social impact by the number of street lamps that we're able to replace and the participants and sales of artwork.
So yeah, our time is up, but then our model would hold an auction online. So we would want to have the most network and mentorship as possible to increase the website traffic. And if you have any questions about financial aspect or like social aspect of it, we're open for question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if we have a question, should we just raise our hand and you guys can call on us? Is that probably the best way to go?
You can just
unmute. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to start. It was a good presentation, ladies. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for educating us about the problem. Quick question about your model. So you're going to sell art in order to fund the replacement of the lights. Why not just sell the lights directly to municipalities? Why take the extra step?
You can go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. So basically, I think when we're giving it directly to the municipality, we are losing like a huge incentive or like huge gap in between, like the bridge of how people, if they become aware, I think the butterfly effect would be so much more than like spoon feeding it basically. So I think the initiative is more towards educating and awareness along with just providing the service, I think. Do you have anything more to say or add, Alisa?
No, I think you explained it perfectly.
Would you, just some thoughts just to consider flipping the model. If you sell to municipalities, but then use that a portion of those funds to then create an education system, just something to think about. I'll let my other judge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's fair though.
Yeah, thanks for the thoughtful presentation. I would just be a little concerned about your whole initiative dependent on how much art you sold. It seems like you're relying on a whole different business model to create the funds for another business model. So, just because the selling of your art isn't successful, that doesn't mean that your initiative it couldn't be successful, but you're relying on the sales of the art. And I just, I have a whole family full of artists, and I can tell you it's not easy selling art. And there's not a lot of money in just selling art. So, I would just, I agree with what Sheehan is like there. I think I would think about another way of building revenue or working with foundations that can donate money or however you guys do that versus just relying on the art. That seems a little scary to me. I mean, wonderful thing, but I just feel like might not be the best way to raise money.
Thank you so much.
Hi, great job, ladies. So my feedback or my thoughts, I want to start with one is competition. I would like to hear a little bit more around the competition. You mentioned that there was someone in Arizona that was doing something similar, but my question with that is, whether someone in Arizona is also tackling the same issue regarding anything coastal. So, I think that was, that there was a disconnect for me there. So maybe clarifying and then just spending a little bit more time on the competition and exactly what it is that they're doing. And then in the beginning, maybe having a sharper intro and then stating your problem followed by your solution. I think we went into data and then came back to us the solution. But that's just, yeah, that's just really quickly my feedback. But great job, guys.
Thank you so much.
Let's create this sign when we have a minute left. So we have a minute left for the question and Q&A.
All right. Yeah, great job, guys. Really interesting topic and approach to it. Just a quick practical question about the product that you'd be selling. So you said it's like the full cut as opposed to the open. Is there a significant price difference between the standard and the sort of full cut design?
The not cut off one is like around 1,000 versus the cut off one is around 4,000 range. So the gap is very huge in the market.
Okay, so that's why you need to create some sort of additional funding or financing or an awareness in the market that it makes sense to go in that direction. Gotcha. Okay. And just about the artwork approach, if a core element of using the artwork is for raising awareness in the local populace, for example, then I wonder if it might be more ideal to figure out a way to have that on display publicly as opposed to just an online auction. So just a thought on that front.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great job to the first team. And now we have Prabashi Sathi as the second team, and Food for Fun should be ready to go afterwards. You guys can start whenever you're ready.
Hello. Thank you. So we're able to share the screen now. Well, let me try it again. Can we start the timer or?
Yes, please share your own timer, and it's for 5 minutes. We're also keeping time, but you can go ahead and start.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hello, judges. So imagine being away from your home, like 2,000 kilometers away from your home to work in some foreign country, and you don't know the language they speak. It's a completely strange language, different language. And when you are there, you have been for 2 years and you are being away from your friends and family, and you don't know when you get some problems with food and some basic shelters issue, you don't know where to contact. You want to talk to some people, but you don't know where to go because there's not a community that you can socialize. And if you have some injury during work or any medical issue, then you don't know where to reach out. And that's like an exact problem that my uncle was facing. When I talked to him, that was what he mentioned. And this is not only the problem of my uncle, it happens to millions of workers who goes to abroad for work on a daily basis. So we are Prabashi Nepali and we want to solve this issue.
Our team designs an application that helps bridge the gap between the foreign workers and the concerned authorities. So we will be providing them a platform to share their stories and also provide them consultation, which helps them to know whom to contact during cases of emergency and where to seek for help. And our business model is based on freemium model, where we provide free services to the regular users that range from links to application forms, contacts of embassies, forex rate, and exchange rate, and news portals. Whereas in the paid version, where the users subscribe, we provide them community space for communication, live chat support, and also on additional cost, we also provide personalized counseling session and personalized talk space that helps people to request someone who they can relate to. Maybe a woman can request for a woman, or let's say an underprivileged man can request for someone similar to him who can understand his story or who can understand their story. And also we help them reach out to media to seek for potential help.
So our business, we have a lot of numbers of immigrants going for work, and out of that we only calculated, being too conservative, we just said, okay, we'll just take like just 5% of the population thinking that they will use our service, and that's just a start. And in the first 6 months, obviously our upfront cost is a little bit high, but from the second year we start to reach the break-even point and we start making profit. And also we'll be having a free subscription to those who are very unable to pay for our service, which is like $2 monthly, and it's not a big deal. And I have talked to my uncle about that, and we'll be giving that free access to one who can't afford it, which in case is very unlikely.
So why now? The first reason is there is no such service provider in the market. And the second reason is there are more than 1.5 million Nepalese workers working in the Middle East, and the number is likely to go up. And the third reason is due to the COVID-19, the challenge of mental health has increased, along with the challenge of laying off and heavy pay cut. And the world is also getting much more digitalized. And finally, our mission aligned with the UN Sustainable Goals.
So obviously, it's not a new market. We have competition. We have two competitions, Kobayashi, which is also a similar app to ours, and Department of Immigration. But we are very different from them, and we are more reliable and trusted. We are also consulting live, so which is very completely different, which they don't do. And we have community relation, like building a community, hosting event, and just creating a community relationship there. So the competitive advantage is that this model is scalable. Right now, we are just focusing on the Middle Eastern country, but we can spread to Europe and Australia. And we have multiple sources of revenue, which is obviously from premium model, running ads and event hosting and others. And we have partnership with Nepali government and embassy so that they can be a part of us to help solve this issue, because it's not just a tiny issue, it's an issue that everybody is concerned about.
So for now, we are looking for mentorship to expand more of our ideas. And after that, we will be reaching out to investors with our idea. And the third process will be community engagement, where we will be collaborating and coordinating with various other authorities, such as embassies, Nepal government, foreign recruiters, foreign employers, and also advertisement agencies, to help people know more about our services, so more people can install the application and they can start benefiting from the application, whereas we will also start earning money through subscription and advertisements.
So proof of concept is that I already talked to one of my programmer app developer friends. So he has been already agreeing with this idea. And we also talked with, personally, I talked with two of my uncle who one was in Kuwait and one is Dubai. And they were very happy. They just said like, this is the greatest service, and they are off, the price is, they were just saying like, oh, $2 is like, usually increase that. But I think we are keeping up with $2.
So for now, we're focusing mostly on Middle East, but this is just starting. So as we go on, we will be expanding our services to more Nepalese diaspora around the world. And this is not the only issue that the Nepalese diaspora is facing. It's also immigration or the immigrant issue is what's going on throughout the world. So similar application can also be expanded and further researched on to expand for the immigrants throughout the world so they can receive services and other facilities through applications and such groups.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great. We'll move into Q&A for 4 minutes.
Yes.
Just curious, you guys, great presentation and a great topic. Curious to know, how difficult is it to gather all that information per country? So if you were to go to Europe or to Russia or, where another part of the country, how long does it take you to gather all of the data you need and all the contacts and the information in order to develop like that service per country?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Obviously, the record will be in the government data, so we have to contact. So we are in a partnership with government and also embassy, so it will be back and forth. So, and right now we're just focusing on Middle East countries, so to be more productive, because that's where the main issue is right now, and we'll scale later. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Great job, guys. I had a quick question in regards to the team. Why do you believe that you guys are equipped for this specific problem?
We have someone who has faced these issues, and they have always been talking to us as like they have thought us as someone who can help them. But there are so many people who don't have anyone to talk to. So as we have understood the ground reality, and as we have moved abroad and faced some of this issue firsthand, maybe we have not faced as much as they have faced, but at least we know the cost of living abroad and how it feels to feel disconnected with family and go through all of these things. So we believe that from our experience and from what we have connected to all the people that we have talked to, and so many of them whom we have not been able to talk to, we think that we are very prepared for this and to make something impactful and help them feel connected to the diaspora that they feel comfortable with.
Awesome, thank you.
I will echo my fellow judges. I think the presentation is great. It included a lot of key components around the market and the solution and so on. As an immigrant myself, and we're not in the Middle East, so it might be very different, and I've never resided there. I think from a community standpoint, probably the biggest competition, and I would maybe expect to see that on your competition slide, is Facebook groups. So for me, where I get most of my information about my country of origin, including travel and all that, is really on Facebook groups. Including, the consulate is also very involved. So I just wondered if that's different in the Middle East, or if I think it's good to have one place to access the more official information, so that part of the business model I can see. But as far as creating a community or a place where people are going to want to come back to more regular, I was just wondering your thoughts about how that may integrate in the social media landscape.
Facebook has sort of very wide audience, and some people we've talked to are not very comfortable on posting their issues or finding people to talk to in Facebook. And also Facebook has been a medium where you connect to families and people. And I remember my uncle asking me for help, and I was like, why did you ask for me to help? Like, I'm very happy to help you, but there were other people whom you could have also reached out to. And his answer was, I do not want to let my family know that I've been going through all this difficult situation. It just makes them feel more tense. Like, they're already more concerned about me being abroad and what I'm doing here. And if I say about what all the things I'm going through, it makes them more tensed and they are more worried about me than I am worried about them. So I guess if we provide a community space for people who are in similar situation, it makes them feel more, it allows them to open up more to people who have faced similar situations rather than some other people. So they would have either like in their life, they would have faced similar situation, or at least someone would know whom to reach out to in such cases. So I guess it would be better to have such limited working space or community space rather than widespread like Facebook. But also, yeah, Facebook has been doing amazing work, and it has been a great form of social media for these people to connect.
We are out of time for this group, but Brian, I saw you had a question. Would you like to ask that, or would you like to hold for the next?
No, yeah, it was really just an extension of Melody's question as well, kind of how you all feel like you're equipped, thinking about the counseling services that you mentioned, kind of coming out of the platform. Yeah, just, where you see kind of the scalability of that and, the $2 costs, and if that is enough. And then just generally, if there are any partners that you kind of see in a counseling, function that can help to support that as a part of your business. So.
Yeah. So we didn't mention in the presentation, but we were having a model where we have volunteer who already live there and somebody who wants to donate their time. So they can log in and be a volunteer in that. But we also have a real-time volunteer in Nepal with a real office and working 24/7. So that they can directly contact them. And that will, as we get the more subscriber and user, will scale that.
Great, thank you. We have Food for Fun up next, and be sure you have a timekeeper on your team. And then Embracing the Red, be ready to pitch afterwards. And you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, so we are Food for Fun, a mobile application for rescuing food lost from restaurants. I'm Haruka and I am Preem. We are inspired to make Food for Fun happen due to our experience working closely with organizations that support fight against food waste, like Food Bank, and also perpetuate the waste of food, like grocery store. So we realized that maybe food that many of us may not see its values are really precious to many others who are underprivileged. So our idea was sparked by the question, what if we find a way to decrease food waste and make profit out of it so that we can use that profit to provide to the people who are truly in need? So the problem. Did you know that 1 in 25 families in the United States experience very low food insecurity? However, did you also know that 40% of all produced food in the United States is never consumed? So that's the problem. We have a resource, but we don't maximize its value. So our further research finds that in those 40% of produced food from restaurants are from restaurants, So we understand them from like their business perspective, and how hard it is to deal with it. So we don't want to blame them, and we want to help them deal with unwanted food more easily. So that came our solution.
So our goal is to eliminate food waste and to deliver food to people in need. First, we create an app that connects with surplus food from local grocery stores and the restaurants and sell food at an affordable price. Restaurants and stores post surplus food on our app at a discounted price, and customers order the food online and pick it up at the store. On the side of restaurants that would throw away the food, they can recoup the cost of food by selling those at a reduced price, and the app would be helpful for them. On the customer side, they can get food at a cheaper price. It is kind of win-win relationship between them. So And then our business donates 10% of our profits to the local community and the organizations that try to resolve hunger problems and food insecurity. On the app, each customer can choose the organization they want to donate to and see how much money has been donated. So the reason why we want our customers to be the ones who select where their donation should go is because we want to build community engagement. This is something that would set us apart from our competitors.
So here's why our solution is important right now. So this is a very clear point, but I want to add some more important things. So COVID-19 makes people buy less food from the restaurant. So at the end of the day, we have more food waste to deal with. And another thing that also important is other companies based in California that care about food waste and have similar business model to us don't have the option for people to get food they actually want. So they typically sell their good in the form of a surprise bag. So we think that this is not sustainable, because what if the buyers don't eat some food in the bag and end up wasting it anyway? So the problem is still there.
So we assume the market size is so huge. And our target customers will be middle-class people who are conscious about the food waste problem and would like to get food at a cheaper price.
This is our business. Oh, sorry. So this is why we are different from other companies. There are many criteria that set us apart, but what we want to emphasize is the fact that our core idea of creating shared value between buyers and seller, the donation idea.
So I got a feedback on our business from the owner of the bakery and the manager at a restaurant in Japan. The feedback is not from an American perspective, but it can still be applied. So that restaurant I got the feedback from started engaging with SDGs recently. So he said if our app helps customers have a positive impression of them in terms of how much they can care about environment and the community, he would be interested in our app.
So here's our business model and how we view of how would we spend our money in the very first month. We would spend mostly on the app development part, since that's the area we lack knowledge the most on it. So we need people. And again, how we gain the profit is from that 30% we get from the restaurant owner that partner with us. So this is the criteria that we want to use to measure the impact or our success.
And we would like to ask for mentorship. Although we have business ideas and knowledge, because we don't have physical experience in creating a real business, having mentors who don't have this experience will be necessary to ensure our app and business is long-lasting and effective. Yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great work, girls. You've identified a huge global problem for sure. I would ask a question. I think it's a huge global problem, but it's extremely local in nature as well. And so when you think about rolling this out and you think about your initial market, do you have an idea of where you want to focus initially? Because I think that would be absolutely critical. You have to build a network, right? You have to build a community where there's enough restaurants and there's enough people who are engaged in this virtuous cycle. So I would ask you that, but also have you think about that issue.
Yes, we have a few candidates, but as we finalize our answer to California, since we both are here and we can access to a lot of things like information very easily. We will also think about Thailand, but due to the fact that I am here, it's so hard to gather information, but Thailand would be an interesting choice to explore on that too.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you.
Brian, I'll go next if you don't mind. This is a space where, from a mentoring standpoint, I think I'll be happy to connect, worked with a lot of systematic food entrepreneurs at RevHub and others. There is actually a venture down the street at UCI called Foodable, and it's very similar model, except that they, instead of selling maybe individual products, they sell meals from restaurant in surplus. I think one of the potential challenge for a restaurateur is that it's not like a regular menu item, right? So every day, whatever is left is going to be variable, right? That was one of my questions, like, how do you address that problem? Otherwise, like I said, I have a lot of potential mentors for you, including a local entrepreneur who just received millions of dollars from the federal government to distribute healthy food. His name is Steve Brazil, he's in Newport Beach. I think it's someone who you could definitely learn from a lot, because what you're doing is totally in line. And I think we're looking for young entrepreneurs like you to help solve this issue. But I think you can connect to a lot of influential people who are already trying to do something similar. But I'd love you to answer the question about how if I'm a restaurateur, do I want to go every day and inventory what I have left to sell? Because it sounds like a major lift just to do that.
So the way we see it is that the restaurant we will create a platform for the restaurant to post their menu of each day very easily. And once they post it, we have like a time limit for people to come to pick it up. So let's say the restaurant posts it at the time, and they have like 2 hours to get people in. So that's the time where people can come and get it at the discount price. Haruka, do you have anything to add on?
I think you covered everything. Thank you.
Well, I'll jump in. I'll try to make it quick. Just really great presentation. Definitely a huge area and opportunity. I think there's a variety of kind of logistical challenges from, perishability. I think, as Dave mentioned, kind of the localization, but, definitely an issue that we ton of innovation is needed. I think there's a couple of business models like Every Table, even, that is a really great organization you all should think about. I guess one of the things that I have as a question is there a way in which, two questions. Is there a way in which someone who has like SNAP benefits or, subsidized benefits system that they particularly, I guess the app is built primarily for them, or you have a relationship with like the SNAP's benefits system in order to ensure that it's someone who obviously needs assistance and things of that. I guess that, just kind of thinking about that. And then my other question is, have you thought about like building a model similar to this that you could take to a DoorDash or to one of those systems and then tell them like, hey, is there a secondary market that you can build on your platform that then a SNAP benefits beneficiary can then use in that situation? I wonder if that has been an idea.
Thank you so much for asking that question. One of the issues that we find for a lot of business model like us is that they are good concept, but only a few people know their existence. Like a lot, like even me before this project, I have no idea that we have the surface marketplace. And I only know about like Uber Eats and DoorDash. So when we come up with idea, we kind of think of like, is it possible for us to sell the function, the idea of us, and place it in that app? But at the end, we decided that in the early state, we should do it on our own, like separately first, because due to the profit part, because we decided to donate part of our profit to organization. If we have to also give some of that to the venture like Uber Eats, then we don't have any money left to develop our app. So at first, that's how I kind of view our company. But then as we move on, we also planning to make it more fun and interactive. Like, let's say each restaurant that join us has sticker, and people can like come and collect. It's more like a game. But I was thinking of like having it on, we were thinking of having it on like Uber Drive or company like that, due to the fact that they can reach out to a lot more people than us.
We are at time, but Shaheen and Melody, would you like to briefly share your questions or thoughts?
Yeah, just it was a great presentation, ladies. And this is a personal passion project of mine. It's what I wrote my fellowship application on. So I know a lot about the space. I'm happy to answer questions for you offline if you need it. But I guess one of my things that I want to say as part of your deck presentation is, if you're going to talk about statistics about the 40% of food waste here in the United States, then I would just recommend that you also reach out to US restaurants when you're making your pitch, make it consistent. And I would also say that there's a reason why Too Good to Go and other of your competitors are saying, get what you can get. It's really because you have no idea of anticipating what your daily order is going to be. So on that question, I guess, do you have some insight as to how you would get what, allow consumers to get what they actually want versus what's sort of left at the end of the day? Maybe you don't have to answer that now, but I sort of just want you to think about that as you're making your pitch and refining your pitch. That's a big question. There's a reason why your competitors are doing it the way that they're doing it. And I think when you're saying, well, we're going to differentiate ourselves that way, make sure you have the solution readily available, because you never know who might be in the room, who knows the space. So just try to have those, anticipate those questions. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it was a great pitch, and I'm excited that you all are working on this problem.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yes, I guess I'll go next. I'll be quick. Great job, girls. I was so excited. I actually had this idea years ago, but I didn't have the time to execute it. So I'm happy that someone's doing it. Great job on the presentation. The deck looked beautiful. And I really liked how you guys were clear with the problem, the solution. Everything just made sense. A couple things to make sure to add on is when you're speaking to data, make sure that you're always sourcing where you're getting information from. So say something easily like, according to XYZ, right? Data shows whatever, right? So making sure that you have the source on your deck, but you're also saying it on your presentation. And then let's see. Well, I know we don't have any more time, but I'm happy to share more later. But great job, ladies. And I love that your ask was super clear and straight to the point. So great start and finish. You had a great punch.
Thank you so much.
Great, thank you. Now we're on to embracing the red. We have a brief break, but we've kind of worked through our break, so it'll probably be shorter than what's listed. But go ahead, embracing the red, and the Tre Project. Please be ready for to go next.
Thank you. We'll share our screen really quick. Can everyone see our screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. We're Team Embracing the Red. My name is Akriti.
I'm Pari.
I'm Nag.
And we'll start. As a 12-year-old, I asked what menstruation was, and I was told I'll figure it out myself when I get it. As a 13-year-old with a red stain on my underwear, thinking I was literally about to die, I was told this was menstruation. I had now grown into a woman, and I should not talk about my period in the open. Similar is the case for thousands of other girls throughout the country. Stigmatizing menstruation is the biggest issue and is a huge problem. According to Girls Globe, 290,000 women in Nepal menstruate every single day, and 89% of these women are excluded or restricted in regular day-to-day lives when they are on their menstruation. It is a problem, and solution is important.
Why? Because health and sanitation issues, which definitely arises out of stigmatization. And menstruation is not impure. It should not be considered impure. It is a physiological process, and embracing the red is what we should be doing. Up next, we have Pari.
So what is our solution? Our team has come up with this project called the Me Box Project. This project focuses on providing menstrual awareness and education to students in Nepal. Imagine you're a student in Nepal. How are you being educated about this physiological process called menstruation? It's either through 10 minutes of your biology class or a separate girls-only session with the counselor, or you're not getting educated about it at all. And one day you'll be confused to find a red stain in your underwear because you're not receiving the right manner of education. This is where the Me Box comes in. We are putting Me Boxes in schools so that the teachers can teach students about menstruation in a better and interesting way. With this Me Box, the students can receive the necessary kind of education. Me Box is creative, engaging, informative, and also environmental friendly as it's made of sustainable products like cardboard. What is inside this Me Box? 3 things. First, period products. There are all kinds of period products, including sanitary napkins, tampons, and menstrual cups. Second, engaging games. We have all kinds of games, such as puzzles and flashcards, to learn about the menstrual cycle. And third, informative guides and pamphlets. Sounds fun and informative? It is. With this Me Box, the students will not only get informed about how to use all sanitary products, know the working of a menstrual cycle by playing games, but they will generally be educated and ready for their period, or their mother's period, or their sister's period. And this is our team who made this. We are a group of 3 young girls who are really passionate about menstruation and solving the stigmatization. Now, Nag will speak more.
There are many organizations in Nepal who are also focused on menstrual health, but these organizations focus on accessibility. What sets us apart is we focus on awareness so that we can solve this problem at its core. We also want to make the kids knowledgeable about the various products out there, like cups and tampons, so that they can choose the product that is best for them. Our business model consists of, first, we want to make the project available in 100 schools in Nepal. And for this startup, the cost will be $10,800. And for our funding, we will have a membership fee of $45 for the private schools, and it'll be free for the community schools so that it can be accessible for all students. In addition, we will be funding our project through donations, collaborations from World Health Organization, Rotary International, and also local organizations such as Pat2Go and Shida Kranti. Me Box has the potential to grow really big. There are 27,000 community schools, 6,000 private schools, and approximately 7 million students in Nepal today. And Nepal's population is growing at a rate of 1.8%. In the 10th year, if we can even educate 50% of the total students in Nepal, we will have impacted 4.1 million students. But for that, we will need all the resources, mentorship, and finances that we can get. We are embracing the red. Are you? Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to commend you for approaching a topic where I know probably some guys in the room are like, just the way you're naturally doing it, and it's very inspiring to me. Thank you for really, just talking about this, like, this is what it is. And I think your presentation was, again, inspiring, amazing, and right on what the potential social entrepreneurship model is with, again, you're talking about, membership and some potential sustainable sources of revenue, not just, going and get grants. So I don't have a lot of questions. I just have a lot of love for what you're doing. And I just wanted to praise your courage as young woman to talk about this kind of topic in an open forum. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
So I had one question for you ladies. Great presentation, by the way. But I'm just curious, is access to products also an issue?
Yes.
It is. So you guys really are focused more on education, destigmatizing, but then when it comes to access of product, is that like stage 2 of your business plan, or are you going to rely on other sources to do that? Just curious.
So as Nag mentioned, that there are other organizations already based in Nepal that are more focused towards the accessibility of sanitary products, right? For example, Pad2Go is an organization that established the first vending machines in schools. So throughout the country, they're establishing vending machines. So as already mentioned, like there are already organizations working towards the accessibility. We realized that it is more important from our part to be aware and educating the students, and to do so, of course, reaching out to the schools where most of the girls are spending like most of their time. Schools are the best way to reach out to more people. So definitely educating and awareing is our first priority, because other organizations are there working on the accessibility agenda.
Got it. Great. Thank you. Yeah. And I guess part of your awareness is letting them know where they can access product, right?
Definitely. Yes.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just add, really remarkable presentation, remarkable topic, and addressed so well. I just had a question about the accessibility to the schools. I assume that, you know, the stigmatization that is currently present is as a result of the traditional culture. So I'm just curious about what sort of challenges you might see in terms of getting the Me boxes into the schools, into the school systems, and if you had thought about how you can address those challenges.
Yeah, so I have shared my screen over here. So we are aware of the challenges that might be there with this project. First is that budget. Definitely, since our project is mostly being funded by budget, by organizations, then it will be a problem. But convincing schools to implement our project, we get it that it's a huge problem, but there are many nonprofit organizations out there who are trying to make impact socially, and they are struggling, but they are still going on. And we have the same aim, and we also want to go with this. And it might take some years, but if we try to approach 100 schools, we hope that at least one school will want to be interested in our project. Thank you.
And I would like to add some more, and that will already create an impact, because, you know, even if one school agrees to work with us out of 100 schools, that is already impacting like 1,000 students out there in that school. And this definitely is a challenge, you know, to uproot this entire deep rooted social structure, patriarchal norms that are already out there in the society. But of course, if our one step helps, then we're definitely taking this forward.
And of course, we are social entrepreneurs, so this is our job.
Well, I love that passion, ladies. That's the key right there. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are most of the teachers female or male?
We are not really sure about the statistics, but if we would have to assume, we would say that there are more men teachers, considering all these patriarchal norms, which does not allow women out of their household to go out there and work. So
Right.
Considering that in mind, we are assuming it's the men. And as we mentioned in our presentation as well, that, you know, schools do not teach this curriculum out there. And that again goes to the fact that because there are male teachers out there, maybe they're not comfortable. Maybe they're this idea that, oh, we should not be talking about this. And that is the main idea that we're trying to destigmatize.
Yeah, I could see that being a tough one to convince a male teacher to approach the topic, right? Like, you know, I had my wife talk to my daughters about that. That wasn't my topic. So I could see how that could be a hurdle. But I mean, great project. But there may be some more ways to try to think about how best to identify that. I mean, you guys know it's a problem. So like, you know, what are ways that you can do what are just things that you can do in order to just get over that hump? I'm not sure what that solution is, but that would be something that I think you'd want to really dig deep into and figure out maybe some other solutions to make those folks feel more comfortable, or a self-accessing box where like the teacher doesn't need a topic, then just say, the information's over there after school if you guys want to dive in the box and look into it or whatever, that kind of thing.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are at time with Melody and Shaheen. If you want to share your thoughts, go ahead.
Thanks. I'll be quick. Awesome. Great job, ladies. I think the three big things I always look for in a pitch is your story, your passion, and your energy. So you guys knocked it out of the park there. And you also articulated very well. Not mumbling, and you're very clear. So, and great presentation. I think the only question for me is you're going to be having this product in Nepal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great. How are you planning on doing customer discovery? Being here, and are you like calls, Zoom? Like, how are you planning on learning more about your customers?
Kriti over here is actually a social entrepreneur herself, and she's a part of this organization and at least a project, which is Shiva Kranti, and it's already focusing on menstrual problems. She's also a part of this organization, Path to Go in Nepal. So these are locally Nepali situated organizations and projects and programs working towards menstrual problems. So in collaborating with them, we hope to identify the target market, the education institutions where we can successfully sell our product, and also identify community schools where we can actually create an impact.
Awesome. Great answer.
Super quick, ladies, great presentation. A couple of quick comments. I think at one point in your presentation, I can't remember who it was, but one of you referred to yourself as girls. And I would just maybe challenge that and ask you to refer to yourself as young women, especially when you're trying to do this work in a patriarchal society. Identifying yourself as girls might create a kind of a hierarchy, as it were. And also kind of related to what Tom had to say, given you're assuming, and maybe do some digging into it, but if you're assuming that most of your teachers are men, some of your education is going to have to be with these men teachers. So putting it as sort of like a box on the side and then students can go and learn themselves, I don't think that's going to really support the work that you're trying to do, right? So part of your education is going to be, how do we make it not so that the Toms of the world don't have to tell their wives, go teach your girls about your periods. So how do we make the men in our lives feel comfortable and can access that information as well? So I just wanted to add that into the thing. But I love your feminism, and I'm super supportive of it, as I think all of us are in this room. And just let us know how we can help you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, one last comment on that. It feels like, that like as the teacher, like maybe as part of your launch program is having them buy in, like opt in to that, right? Instead of just sending the box sort of blindly, and I'm sure that's not your plan, but like, having some sort of pre-sale go on and talk to the teachers themselves, educating the male teachers or female teachers, and then getting them to opt in for these boxes somehow, versus the school system doing it and bringing into the teachers, and then the box ends up just underneath the desk somewhere. Like somehow making sure that when you send that box in, that person is willing. So
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to check in with the judges. We blew past our break, but we did have a scheduled break. Does anyone need a bio break? Do we want to go offline for a couple of minutes, or should we continue forward? If anybody wants a break, judges,
I think we can just take 2 minutes.
So why don't we reconvene at 12:10, and we'll just keep the Zoom going.
Perfect.
That works.
All right, I think we have the Tre Project next. And I did want to just mention that it looks like we're running on time, but a little late. So especially for our judges, if you have a hard stop, I'm kind of letting some of the Q&A, we're letting some of the Q&A go, but if there is a hard stop, just, I don't know, message me or just unmute and let us know, because we want to make sure that you guys see all of the pitches. But it looks like we're running, by the time the judges deliberate after all the teams, we may be running a little late. So just let me, just stay in touch if, any hard deadlines or hard stops we can adjust to. With that, we have the Tre Project next, and then AhotɔHealth, and be sure that someone on your team is keeping time, and you can start whenever you're ready.
Can everyone see our presentation? Thank you. Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cho, and this is Carmen, and we are the Tre Project, a nonprofit initiative aiming to provide affordable, eco-friendly, locally sourced sanitary pads to Vietnamese ethnic minority groups. Tre literally means bamboo in Vietnamese, and bamboo is of great importance to our product. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. These are the pictures of children and women of some ethnic minority groups, or EMG, of Vietnam. As you can see, they are struggling with very low living standards and inadequate sanitation, especially girls and women who are still suffering from the lack of access to quality menstrual products. Research has shown that in some underdeveloped areas of Vietnam, mostly inhabited by the EMGs, up to 30% of women and girls are unable to perform basic hygiene measures during menstruation due to not being able to afford 1 to 2 pads per day. It has also been reported that a lot of fake sanitary pads have been sold to EMG women. These fake products are 10 times cheaper than authentic ones, but carry with them a lot of risks as they were made from very unsanitary and bad quality materials. And so the root causes behind this issue of limited access to menstrual products of EMGs are as follows. Our government surveys results show that the average distance to the market or commercial center for ethnic minority households can be up to 19 miles. And so the EMGs live in very remote areas without proper means of transportation. In combination with their financial inability to afford proper monthly menstrual products is why they have little to no access to menstrual pads. That is also why they resort to purchasing the fake pads. The Tre Project takes issue of creating a non-profit business that manufactures affordable and accessible pads for EMG girls and women. Our very first product line will be 9-inch menstrual pads with wings for both day and night use, and it will be made from materials that are abundant and easily available. Our pads will have 3 layers. The top layer is made from bamboo fibers and plant starch. The absorbent core will be made from banana fibers, absorbent biopolymers, namely polyvinyl alcohol, and the bottom layer is made from bamboo plastic. And so we plan to construct our first manufacturing plant in the Central Highlands, which is ranked 2nd nationally in terms of EMGs. The Central Highlands has a great area and reserve for bamboo in Vietnam. It's also abundant in bananas. And so because these materials are great in the region, our products are significantly cheaper than pads produced elsewhere. These eco-friendly pads will be distributed among EMGs within the Central Highlands on mobile trucks, which allows them more accessibility. We are the economics and international studies major students, which help to tackle this issue from a social economic lens. We share a great passion for helping EMG women and children to overcome the obstacles that we have not had to experience in our life. And so as we have outlined the consequences of the lack of sanitary pads, if nothing is done, girls and women of the EMGs will continue to suffer during menstruation. The accessibility of essential goods like pads have been worsened by the pandemic, as some local governments in Vietnam do not categorize menstrual products as essential goods, making the distribution of such goods much more difficult. Having a manufacturing plant of pads locally would benefit those who are facing hardships accessing these essential items. According to our estimation based on officially published data from the government, and assuming that we can service 50% of the total number of potential customers, we would have a market size of more than 62,000 people for our very first launch in the Central Highlands. And if we can extend our production and distribution to to the whole nation, we can potentially touch a huge market of 2.5 million people, and that is 2.6% of the Vietnamese population.
And so other organizations like the United Nations Population Fund and the World Vision Vietnam Organization have both donated pads to women throughout Vietnam. However, it is unclear how many of them actually went to ethnic minority groups.
There has not been any other significant large-scale project that focuses on providing girls and women of EMGs with affordable menstrual pads. It means that the Tre Project would be the very first project in Vietnam to tackle this issue, target a very particular vulnerable group, and with eco-friendly pads made from local materials.
And so we have discussed our ideas with two friends from other universities, and the Vietnamese one with the STEM background challenged us to be more detailed about how we created our product. And the other is a law major from Malaysia who helped us with some legal aspects of our business. We've also discussed with a local Vietnamese factory owner to get a glimpse of the cost involved in manufacturing.
Our product utilizes the disintermediation business model, and this is our cost sheet. Our annual profit would be around $8,000. This amount will be donated to local charities that support women's health improvement. Further questions about that can be answered in the Q&A section.
And so we propose collecting surveys given to our customers as we distribute our product to the remote areas as a measure of our social impact. Data relevant indicators collected by interested parties can also help with this.
So to kickstart our initiative, we would kindly ask for the mentorship from our judges. We would really appreciate the insightful suggestions on our business, particularly how we can approach a new market, efficiently distribute our products, and the fundraising process.
Furthermore, any contacts you know that could help us gain more knowledge and experience from those whose business models that are similar to our own would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you for listening. We're happy to answer any questions you may have.
I have one quick question. Do you know how difficult it is, like permit wise and all that, to just build your own manufacturing, or is there, or are you thinking that you would find a factory that could actually have all the employees and you could just sort of create sort of a whole production line within a current factory? Just curious what you guys are thinking there, or do you know yet?
Yeah, okay, let me share my screen again. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is our cost sheet. This is the expenses that we estimate. We have also, okay, so we want to rent a factory. We found a location already, and we also rent the machines. And for the label, I think based on the estimation of our total like production, we would hire like 20 workers with 5 part-time sales people that would go with 5 small style trucks that we already mentioned, that we will have trucks, deliver our products to the people.
Right. Oh, great. Okay, good. Cool. Great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, question maybe, why have you chosen your entity to be a nonprofit organization as opposed to a for-profit, doing social good?
You want to answer it? Okay, so for us, like to run a for-profit business and to sustain it is a complete difficult task. And for now, I think because we are more passionate about, solving the social problems, so we want to focus on nonprofit. So we just want to benefit the communities. And the profit we gain can be donated for like charitable purposes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome job, ladies. Again, I love how well you guys articulated the problem, and you definitely went into detail regarding the business model. So appreciate that. I'm not sure if you guys are doing MVPs, but have you created a minimal viable product yet?
No, we haven't. We just have like the elements that we're gonna use.
Okay, got it. Well, great job. Really love the storyline, how you went through your pitch, and it was very, very clear. So good job.
Thank you.
I just had a very quick comment. Thank you, Dave, for asking the question about the nonprofit. This could be a very long debate we don't want to have here today, but I think your answer about not mentioning a for-profit or non-profit, I would say in the majority of cases, nonprofit organizations are a lot more work and effort because you are caught into a fundraising hamster wheel. That's actually the benefit of social enterprise, which is, just being able to also have sustainable ongoing income and revenue. So I'm not saying it was a wrong answer. I'm just saying, do not think a nonprofit is going to be easier, because actually you can be caught into a lot of difficulties. You can be a for-profit, for-purpose corporation and also have a fiscal sponsor, which allows you to have a nonprofit status to take grants, because if you found grant, organizations, foundations, and so on to grant you, it's still great to be able to take that money. But I think it's, again, I'm so glad Dave put that thing out there, because I think it's sometimes for a lot of people a myth and a perception of nonprofit versus for-profit that I think needs to be corrected over time with a lot of, in our community in general.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I can personally, vouch in that. Right now, I lead a for-profit social impact agency over a nonprofit because of, I think, the flexibility, because of also, I think the dependent nature of philanthropy is really challenging, and then donations are really challenging. I guess one of the other things I would ask is, thinking about, there's a couple of models that have really great connection to something like this. I think, like the one-for-one model from Tom's or kind of other one-for-one social entrepreneurial ventures, where you could have a product that is sold kind of in a much more like mainstream market that is then a donation to a ethnic minority in these particular communities. I wonder if that's a model that you've thought about. And then Every Table is another business I mentioned earlier. They're another organization. What they do is they have kind of variable pricing, particularly for communities. So more affluent communities have a increased price for the same product than a more underdeveloped community where it's the same. It's just they're using the supply chain and the production scalability of the kind of for-profit model to help subsidize the costs of in those underdeveloped communities. And so wondering if these are models you've ever thought about for a product like this.
Yeah, so we have considered like other models of business, but the reason why we chose this one, because for us, it provides the people with the option of getting what they want, the amount that they need. Like, for example, like the one-for-one model, like the ethnic minority group, like we can't really know how much they will need and all that kind of stuff, how much pads they would use, et cetera, et cetera. And so like if we donate a bunch to them, it's not ensured that they will need all that in that amount of time and all that. So the production and all that, I think it would be much more complicated than just selling directly to consumers.
Yeah, but I mean, in the future, absolutely we'll consider other business models to be more efficient. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to quickly add as a follow-on to Brian's thing and to Isabel's statement about the structure. So definitely from a legal perspective, you know, the nonprofit world has a lot of compliance pieces to it. And I will also say even the one-for-one model has a lot more compliance pieces to it that is actually becoming more complicated to do those models from a legal perspective. So if any of you have questions about that as you're thinking through your models, I'm happy to just be a sounding board on those pieces. Most of my entrepreneurs are moving away from the one-for-one model and doing more of an impact model. And I can talk to you more, any one of you more about that. Okay, so just if you have questions on that.
Thank you, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. We have next AhotɔHealth, and then Savvy Govvy is after that, so be ready. And you can start whenever you're ready. Is Anthony in the room?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. I'm trying to share my screen now. Is my screen visible now?
No.
Is it visible? Awesome. Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Anthony Ediafo, and I'm excited to see you all. Let me tell you a short story about a little girl, Amma. Amma suffered from Buruli ulcer, which is a tropical infectious disease, for 4 years. She recently passed away as a result of delayed diagnosis. 2 days ago, I spoke to my mother, and she talked to me about how our neighbor struggled to find a specialist to treat his complicated fibromyalgia, because there are only 2 specialists for this disease in Ghana. This is lack of access to healthcare and poor quality healthcare delivery, a huge problem. Now, on average, patients in Ghana experience 120 days of delayed diagnosis, according to the Ghana Health Service. And globally, 2.9 million deaths occur as a result of a lack of access to healthcare, with 5.7 to 8.4 million deaths arising from poor quality healthcare delivery. This situation is no different than in Ghana. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of some Ghanaians for a second. You need medical care, but hospitals, as always, are crowded. Or let's say you need to get some prescription drugs or do a follow-up with your doctor about some medications. You are helpless, but I'm sorry, that is not impossible. That is not possible, because physicians in Ghana are busy trying to work with 1,000 patients to 1 doctor ratio and a very bureaucratic system for patients' access. Well, AhotɔHealth is here to break that bureaucracy, reduce the delays, and bring your physician closer to your doorstep. We will provide an omni-channel approach to physician access through a frictionless mobile application, doctor finding platform, and a 24/7 call center to quickly connect patients to physicians for convenient and quality care. In doing this, we will provide complementary services, including prescription management and disease prevention on our mobile application to people from all economic backgrounds to have access to the highest quality of value-based care. There are 999 people, for every physician in Ghana not served by a physician currently. And we have the chance to change that status quo, not necessarily by increasing the number of physicians, but by streamlining access to existing physicians. We plan to capture 5% of Ghana's healthcare services industry in 6 years, with a solid potential for accelerated growth in subsequent years. With our business, we will not only reduce inequality and poor quality of healthcare delivery in Ghana, but we will contribute to global efforts to improve all people's health. If we do nothing now, people will continue to die at this alarming rate, and our dreams of achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals will become laughable. Ghana and West Africa's growth will continue to be stunted because a people's health is their wealth. There are some current players in the industry scattered around the world, around the continent of Africa, with only 1 direct competitor in Ghana, which is the Ghana Health Service, which provides only a subpar call center. We go ahead of our competitors to do the unimaginable for our patients because we recognize that not only profits are important, but prosperity for our patients as well. In doing that, we charge an annual membership fee of $20 for access to our partner physicians, our mobile application, and our resources. Also, we charge a prepaid fee for specialty care and other premium services, with our cost of service per patient being just $1. As a company that will be less capital intensive, we have room to invest 10% of our profits to run our DiaPrep diabetes treatment program, which has successfully already treated 30 low-income patients in Ghana. We have the experience. And again, we have a committed team of passionate and skilled entrepreneurs eager to change the world. Currently, we have 10 allied medical professionals ready to start changing lives with us and currently developing our mobile application platform. We have evidence from other companies that mobile application systems do work. And so we are eager to leverage that technology to change lives. Also, we have our first call center facility site in Kumasi, Ghana. And we are hoping to win this competition and commit any prizes to our app development efforts, as well as gain some mentorship. And we look forward to, more sponsorship opportunities after this competition. At the end of 4 years, we should be able to achieve a net earnings of $200,000, and I'm excited about this opportunity. More so, I'm excited to see all of you here. For many Africans, particularly Ghanaians, as all people in the world, we do not choose to fall sick. But when sicknesses hit us, AhotɔHealth will be ready to bring the care in healthcare to your doorstep. Thank you. And this is a preview of our financials. I'm ready to answer any questions you have.
Anthony, I'll jump in while you're getting us back on in the room. What is the current healthcare system in Ghana? Is it private care? So if I'm a patient, I just have to go seek a doctor out and pay for it out of pocket, or how does that work?
Yes, Ghana healthcare system is a cash and carry system where patients, have access to both private and public, healthcare facilities. So you just have your cash and you go. There is a recent rise in the number of insurance companies, and that is, helping to ease the payment method for many of our patients in Ghana. But basically, we have the private sector and the public sector, with the public sector carrying a majority of the healthcare providing services.
Okay,
yeah.
And so your app, does that address the cost? Do you think that addresses the cost issue for Ghanaians?
Well, the cost is not really an issue per se. It is the access.
Access is
the primary issue is the access and the delays in access. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. And actually, Anthony, I might have a mentor for you all, a Ghanaian investor who's a client of mine who also has a fund. So just reach out to me afterwards and maybe we can make that connection.
Awesome.
Can I also add something?
Is that the founder of United Health Group, Africa Health Holdings?
Sorry,
is your client the founder of Africa Health Holdings?
I don't think that's the name of his fund, but we can talk offline so that the other guys can ask questions.
Okay, I have a question. I have something to add as well. So with regards to the cost, the procedures in Ghana are heavily subsidized by the government. So very intense surgical procedures that could cost thousands in the US cost as low as $12, $6. So cost isn't really much of an issue in Ghana. It's more of the access and easing patients like ways to meet a doctor and a specialist in and like outside the clinic as well.
That's great information, Kelvin. Thanks. It might be nice to put that in your deck next time if you're pitching to a US-based audience, because our frame of reference is a little bit different, but I appreciate the clarification. Thank you.
And it's also, it sounds like that there's a lack of doctors. Is that true?
Yes, I mean, there's limited availability of doctors, and the problem is no different in Ghana. Yeah,
that's what I was wondering is, like, if you get more access to the doctors, but the doctors don't have any time, is that going to be an issue?
That is a great question. So this is where we get a chance to provide some, further clarification. So, Babe, would you like to talk about how Ghana's healthcare system works, how doctors spread their time between public service and, the private service, just provide some clarification with that.
So, yes, indeed, doctors do not have the time, but we are working with only attending doctors who are very well known, and they have more time on their hands than the regular resident physician. So these doctors have assured us that they will have enough time on their hands to meet our patients that would suggest to our product.
Yeah, let me add something to that. So the system is such that we have the senior most doctors who only spend 5 hours at the hospital, and then they have the rest of the time to do other stuff. So those are the doctors that we have at hand to connect patients to. So for young doctors, they have to work, let's say, 12 hours a day at the hospitals, and they do all of those 12 hours. But for the senior most doctors, and there are a lot of them, we are currently partnering with 10 of them, and they have a lot of free time on their hands because they are only required to do fewer hours, let's say 5 hours in a day, and then they have the rest of the day to themselves. They normally use that to, work in private practices, and still they have more time. So we plan to connect patients to these doctors who are free. And because it's really hard for patients in Ghana to find which doctor is free, how do I get access to this doctor? It's a lack of information. We will provide a centralized system to get all of this information and provide it to the patients who need them, so that they can get access to quality healthcare.
We are, at time, but we can take any last questions or comments.
Yeah, no, I'll be really quick. Great job, you guys. Back to the topic of access really quickly. It's just clarifying on that access to education, doctors, and mobile or technology to be connected.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So our mobile, platform, the application system is going to be, one of the omni-channel systems that we have to give patients the access to schedule meetings with doctors, to find doctors, in different parts of Ghana. So let's say you live in Tema, which is one of the cities in Ghana, and you need a doctor. So the platform will show you where you can find one, and then how you can schedule an appointment with one. And then it also will give you access to virtual conferencing with a doctor, so that you might not need to travel, which also solves the problem of difficulty with transportation between cities in Ghana, because we really have bad routes and a very poor transportation sector. So the virtual teleconferencing system will give patients the chance to stay in their homes and still get access to medical, services. So it will be, a multifaceted platform that we are building, and we are currently making progress. We are happy to roll it out.
Yeah, sorry for the time, but I would like to add something more to that. And for patients who are not technology savvy, our 24-hour call center would always be there to answer whatever questions and connect them to their doctors as fast as possible. So we are serving all kinds of patient populations. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, awesome. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have Savvy Govvy next, and then Enjovu Paper. And from what I'm hearing, Team Euphoria has decided not to pitch. So if something has changed, let me know. But we have 2 more teams, and the next team can go whenever they're ready.
Hey guys, I can't hear.
Yeah, no audio.
No audio.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry for the technical. So let me begin again. So hi everyone, we are Safi Govvy, a citizen-centric appointment scheduling software for government in Vietnam. And here's our team. We are psychology, international studies students who have experience of working with local government, startups, and NGOs. And I guess everyone here has at least one hand experience of going to the DMV to get your driver license, or go to the Social Security to get your SSN. And the experience is not that nice. But imagine you are in Vietnam. The process is even worse. You will have to come to a government agency, and the hygiene is you will go to a wrong one because there is no information available to tell you where to go to get your service exactly. And then you have to wait for an entire morning or even more. Then you will have to deal with a lot of papers because the process is mainly offline. After submitting your paperwork, you have no idea where is the document processing is going on. And when you're making a mistake or missing some important information, you have to go back to step one again. It's very time-consuming and annoying process. Based on our observations, we had decided the 3 problems. First is the citizens in Vietnam is unable to schedule in advance with the government. Second, they are unable to select the right office to do their service. Third, they are unable to track the document processes. And why these problems are important? According to World Bank report, if Vietnamese government do nothing, we will miss the chance to improve our GDP by 20%, at least 20% per year. So that's why we come up with a solution. We want to create a web platform where citizens can book appointment with the right office and track their document progress. So we can enhance citizen satisfaction, and we save time and money for all, especially for the day workers who are the most sensitive to time because their earning is consistent with their working hours. Lastly, we will increase the transparency for a fair and square society. We already done our prototype, and if we have time and you are in the Q&A session, I can show the demo of our prototype to you. Our product has 3 main features. First is we will have recommendation. We will have a series of questions, and by answering this question, we will give you recommendation of the right office that you can go to get your process done. Second, you can book an appointment with this office on our platform, and you can track the entire process from submitting your document to when it's getting done on our platform. Our competitive advantage is citizen experience is our priorities. We have a very user-friendly design. We guide you through a series of conversational questions so you won't be confused to navigate through the difficulties of the government portal. We also have the standardized software for every public service. In the competitions now, we at the right corner where we have an online presence with a very easy to use platform compared to the difficult traditional office or the online government but very hard to use portal. This is what is currently the government is using. Our market validation is that Vietnamese citizens during the COVID time has opted for processing document online has increased by 34%, and our government wants to be digitalized by 2025. We have 63 provinces in Vietnam, and we want to be the market leader in 25 provinces that have the strongest desire for a government transformation. We will sell directly to provincial authorities with the bracket pricing. Depends on the scale of the population in this city. And with our solution, we have achieved 4 SDG goals by saving time and money for day workers. We have increased economic growth, provide information available to all, so reduce inequality, reduce the papers in traditional process, so create sustainable city and community, and finally, transparent and stronger institution. We would like to ask for to be introduced with engineers and experts in government technology so we can help bring our solution to life to impact the life of citizens in Vietnam. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
How long does your demo take? Is it quick?
I think it's just take about like 130 minutes.
I think just 1 minute.
1 minute.
A minute. Okay. Well, if we have time, I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I can show it now if like you want curious about the product.
Yeah, I'd love to see it too if we could.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Ấn trong cái demo link ấy.
I cannot. I think I can go with other question first before I demo the product.
Just a quick question. So you're selling this solution to the government of Vietnam? Is that right?
Yes.
And do they have budgets to afford this? Do you know?
Yes. So this we already researched about that. So in 2022, the government is decided to allocate at least 1% of government budget for e-government transformation, and they already do in local government office. But the problem we see that this is the product that they create is not very easy to use, and we want to offer a better solution for them. And for some local government that they don't have the resources to find the best engineer or designer to create a streamlined and standardized experience, we can offer them an alternative solution so we can standardize the process for the citizen.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Nice presentation and great passion. Nice
yeah. We are ready for the demo now, so I can change my screen again. So we do a prototype. So our web will look like that. Exactly this one. When you open, there's no bottle at all. There will be very simple design and asking you questions, basic information. What is your name? And then what's the some best phone number to reach you at? What is your best email? And what is service you are looking for? You can choose a service or just tie on the exactly service that you have in your mind. And you will input your location like city, province, and your specific district. So we will use an algorithm to give you the recommendations based on our database. And then you can book the calendar with us with the specific district. And you can up the pre-documents on the platform. So the process will be saving time when you meet your civil servant. And you can also check the progress in our platform. And yeah, congratulations, you just got your government ID, and please rate your experience with the committee. So this is just some way of demonstrate our very early idea, but if we have the engineer help, we can make it to a real app. Thank you.
Can I ask you a quick question on that? And I'm not that technical by any means, but if it's government related with very sensitive type of information that are going through that kind of interface, again, I'm assuming there could be requirement, whether it's, Vietnam, United States. I mean, to me, I can see like, major like cyber, like security, like needs like that. So I just don't know what it takes to sell any kind of information technology to a government. I will assume it's actually not easy, but I could be wrong. So I don't know if, I think the concept is fantastic. I just think that from a technology standpoint, there may be a lot of hurdles along the way that you may have to overcome because it's government.
Yeah. And the one good news for us is because during the COVID time, our government already partnered with a lot of private sector and startup, so they can have the ready-to-go solution to address the need of the citizen during COVID time. So I think it is a good sign for us that if we can ensure the security and also data privacy when we are working with the government, there will be a good chance that we can like collaborate with them to like implement these solutions.
Great, thank you so much. We will move forward because I think some of the judges have a hard stop. So we would like our final team, unless Euphoria is deciding to pitch, but otherwise we will go ahead with Enjovu paper next, and you can share your screen whenever you're ready.
Oh yeah.
Can everybody see it? Is that good?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jerry, and I'm here with my teammate Yisin and Anthea, if you'd like to wave your hand. And we created Enjovu paper to raise awareness for endangered elephants globally by recycling elephant dung, stay with us, and recycling them into paper products. We all love elephants, can we agree on this? They are majestic animals, and they're probably the most symbolic creature on earth. And more than ever, they're driven to the brink of extinction, and the awareness hasn't been raised enough. Earlier in 2021, a herd of 14 elephants took a 17-month, 800-mile journey in southern China. This is the longest journey elephant has ever traveled and has ever been recorded in human history. This is abnormal.
I'm sorry, I don't see the presentation move. And I just want to let you know before you go too far, I'm still on the first slide on my screen.
Is it still on the first?
There's a glitch. I think you have to reload.
Oops.
It's stuck.
Sorry about that. Is it good now?
Yes.
And yes, you can see that elephants are traveling in human-made habitat right here. This is in the documentary that I mentioned. So yeah, this journey was abnormal. This is historical, and they put on television show, and they become a global phenomenon. And of course, this is largely caused by encroaching farmland, extensive planting of cash crops such as rubber and tea in the area, and climate change for sure. And we did research into it, and we're all very much shocked and aghast at the result. At this time, there are only around 300 wild elephants in China, and globally, there's a more than 80% decrease in elephant population worldwide in less than 25 years. And at the meantime, one of their costs is the deforestation, and 14% of the deforestation is due to paper manufacturing. So we were thinking about how can we combine these elements to create something that can both raise awareness for endangered elephants with paper products. And I'll hand it to our team member.
And so for our solution, we decided to get elephant dung that we will collect from the elephants and clean the dung to get clean plant fiber to make paper that is natural, odorless, and free of bacteria. We estimate that our total attainable market will be $300 billion, a service attainable market at $100 billion, and serviceable obtainable market at $90 billion. We found only one competitor, that is Bubu Paper in Thailand, that creates recycled and odorless paper products made from elephant dung. In regards to this, our competitive advantages are the paper that we'll make will be easy to manufacture. It will also create employment opportunities in Yunnan. And since there's no competitor in China, it will be just us creating this product, since it is a new idea that is just surfacing, and will also help raise awareness about endangered elephants.
And here are some sample products we decided to develop and produce, including journal, notebooks, envelope, and postcards. We will print image of elephants on our products and information about elephants' living condition on tags or wraps of our product to raise awareness. Next slide, please. And our business will be based upon the triple bottom line model, which will focus on protection of elephants, creation of employment opportunities, and maximization of profits. So we plan to establish our first manufacturing in Xishuangbanna National Nature Reserve, which is the largest elephant sanctuary in China. We will cooperate with this reserve and get elephants down as raw materials. The estimated cost of the first year's production is $15,800. Our initial funding will mainly come from Yunnan local government's poverty alleviating program, which grants $8,000 to small business, helping unemployed people in rural areas each year. We will use this as initial fundings for machine and rent, and we'll also contribute towards other starting costs ourselves. Because the production and transportation cost in China is relatively low, the price of our paper products will be much lower compared to our competitors in other countries. For example, we charge $18 for journals and notebooks, and $5 for like a set of envelope and postcard, which is on average $5 cheaper compared to similar products produced by Pupu Paper based in Thailand. And to improve elephants' living condition, we decided to donate 10% of our total profits to NGOs and National Reserve, first in China and later around the world. We will also fund a quarterly research program related to elephants' migration and population to assess the effectiveness and impact of our business.
And you may ask, why us? Why this problem? It seems very far away. Well, first of all, we are a team of very diverse background and very diverse experience. And more than ever, when we got together and brainstormed about the idea, we realized that our history and culture of our own members' origins are greatly linked to elephants. And in this way, we are definitely taking this personal, such as Anthea, her clan in Uganda, it has the symbol of elephant, and the province where me and Yixin came from, the Chinese character incorporated elephant in it. It means 1,000 years ago, it means the elephant were living here massively. But right now, I don't think even there's one single white elephant present in our province. And definitely this is an issue that we can tackle. And this is a personal issue for us.
Our team is willing to contribute towards the starting costs in addition to grants that we will receive. But as running a venture is new to us, we would appreciate mentorship in regards to following this through. Thank you. And feel free to contact me soon for any further comments or questions that may not be answered today.
All right, excellent. Guys, really, some pulls at my heartstrings. About 20 years ago, I started a company called Blue Elephant, actually providing 10% of the proceeds to Asian elephant conservation. So it's something that definitely is close to my heart. So really excited to see you guys, concerned about it and focused on it. Just a kind of a specifics question, curious about, like, you mentioned your market sizing, pretty enormous. I assume that was like for all paper products. I was curious about, have you guys done any analysis on sort of the supply capacity for these papers utilizing the dung? I know it's dirty business, but just curious if you'd looked into it.
I can go first. For us, the advantage is that, the raw material is definitely cheap, if not free. And we're definitely going to start with a single production site in the local area where it's close to the origin of the material, where I expect to expand it to places such as Uganda, where Anthea can directly link with the locals for a secondary production site and expand from that. But for sure, it's a side-by-side step, and that's our advantage because we're very close to the local and we don't need that much funding to start with. And yeah.
And in regards to supply, we chose elephants because they digest little of their food, so it's also excellent compost, and it comes in like big sizes, so it saves time and it's cheaper to produce. And it's also very good because their dung is composed of just leaves and grass and bark and food, which is also good for the environment. And so it will be safer and natural and odorless to both produce and supply.
And add on to that, we can for sure expand the market by a lot of ways possible, such as collaboration with different NGOs. Our competitors has done that. We've seen that. And we've seen how a local research center of pandas donated their excrement to a local paper producer for further enhancement. So we can always see these possibilities of collaboration with NGOs and governmental organizations, and we can always do advertisement on different platforms too, right? And there's a lot of ways to go with this. But yeah, thank you for the question.
I think I miss the banana peels, but I love the spirit again, Anthea, about I think what's fantastic is, you're hitting all levels of employment, locally, environment focused. I mean, it's just amazing idea all around, right? Sorry about that. And I really, again, I'm still hooked on the 2 key idea as well, just for reference. So whatever we can help you to make this happen and take it further. I think, again, when you have a company or an idea that, hits all these marks at the same time, I think, I'm just always amazed by, the genius ideas you can have and develop. So I'm happy to connect further as well. I don't have a lot of questions except for, how are we going to help you make this happen, which I need to think a little bit about. But I think it's just an amazing idea, and it seems simple, but again, I think it has a lot of merit because of how much impact at once it can create.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I had just a quick question. Fascinating, by the way, and I would agree that just from an overall entrepreneurial business standpoint, you're hitting like all kinds of topics right now that are really top of mind, just from sustainability, tug of the heartstrings for elephants themselves, all kinds of things. So really great idea. Just curious to know, have you guys figured out what the cost of collecting the dung and getting it to the facility before it actually starts, however the process starts? Like, have you kind of measured what the cost is to do that? And is it expensive? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, actually, we already taken that into consideration. First of all, we will build our manufacturing or like facilities right next to the National Reserve, which is the largest elephant sanctuary in China. So we will definitely reach out to the sanctuary, and probably we can cooperate with each other because we can also donate our profits to this reserve, and they can just collect the down of elephants and transported to our facilities. And we also calculated the transportation cost of the raw materials. We already include that into the charts we made on the slide. Yeah. Thank you for this question.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, with that, we conclude the final pitches for all the teams of Impactathon 2022 at Soka University, B2B. Congratulations, everyone. And participants, please inhale with me and huge exhale. You did it. Congratulations. This was a huge, for many of you, the first time you've ever even thought about entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship, and you guys were incredible. So what we'll do now is, participants, please stay here, that you will be voting for People's Choice Award, and judges, we will be sending you to a room so you can deliberate. And Shalini and Mary Patrick Kavanaugh will join you, and they will let us know when you guys are ready to come back. So right now we'll just move into our different rooms. And okay, I'm gonna have to manually add all the judges again, so you'll bear with me for just a moment. In the meanwhile, while I'm doing this, maybe participants, if you want to unmute and just popcorn a word of how you feel, and just popcorn someone else, because the judges haven't had a chance to meet with you too much. So maybe I'll start with Preem, if you want to just say a word of how you feel, and then just popcorn to another participant.
Hello. I feel so hopeful, I guess, because this is my first time I'm pitching. A lot of things is not perfect, but I think it's a good start for me to get my feedback and try like the field and a lot of other possibility. So I'm excited for this. I'll popcorn Alisa.
I feel relieved and thankful for getting all the feedback that would help me and my partner proceed with our project. So yeah, thank you. I'll popcorn Pari.
Thank you. Yeah, we were all really nervous because we had to create this business vision like not even one day, like a few hours, and yeah, it was stressful, but I feel really good that it's all over, but that we could see so many creative ideas and get feedback from everyone, and yeah, thank you. I'll popcorn to Haruka.
I was really nervous, and then I'm right now I'm really thankful for this opportunity, and then and giving me like giving us a lot of feedback. So and then yeah, I think I'm really like glad I could try this pitch right now. So yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. So I'll popcorn to Kevin. Sorry, Jelly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for sure hectic. My team changed the idea 4 times yesterday, I think. Then we sat on the last one yesterday at 9 p.m. And yeah, and then we had to work on it and think about it. But yeah, we love. In the end, we love the process, and we love how it turned out in the end. And yeah, this is a great experience with you all. Thank you so much. And let me pass it to Anthea.
Yeah, I feel energized. It's so good to be back in this environment after a few months. I feel like I needed to remind myself of like what I guess, pressure it feels like. I'm just working under that and with a new team of like different individuals from different places. And yeah, so I'm excited to continue seeing how this goes. And then I'll pass it to Calvin.
So I would say I'm very grateful for this experience. It's kind of like the first time I've done anything aside from biology, pre-med, and research. So it really was a moment of growth for me. And even this whole process of creating our company has been very growth, like inspired for me. And with regards to the pitch, we had to work throughout the night, and the challenges of like, I go to Cornell, which is in the East Coast. So there's a big time difference between, like, I think 4 hours between my partner, Anthony, and me. So we had to coordinate the times, and I had to sleep, and he was like, we are not sleeping, we have to get it done and everything. So, but I'm glad and I'm happy with the final product we put out, and everyone else's idea was great, and I learned so much, and I'm really appreciative of this process. Thank you. So I'll pass it to Haruka.
I did it, so maybe you can pass it to other people.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to pass it to Yoko.
Hi, so I'm a not presenter and I'm just observer, but then thank you for the opportunity today. And it was so all of your pitches are so impressive and amazing. And then I could feel your passion and then just impressive. And then I could see like one of you, some of you, all of you could actually start like doing this business and then could achieve or like the whatever you want to achieve. So thank you for the opportunity. So okay, so who hasn't spoken yet? Can you raise? Okay, so Arohi?
Oh yeah. Hi, this experience was very interesting, a little bit overwhelming in between, but I'm glad that we got it all through, and it was exciting to present with all of you and hear your ideas. Yeah, thank you so much for having us all together. It was interesting.
If you haven't gone, yeah.
I would want to popcorn it to Carmen.
Oh, okay. So this is actually my first time ever pitching a business idea to people. So I was a little bit nervous, but at the end of the day, I think that is a great opportunity to learn, to improve, to hear from different perspectives. And I'm happy that we did our best for this event. So I'll popcorn it to Joe.
So yeah, similar sentiments to Carmen. I'm really glad that we went through it together. I feel like our friendship was tested to the limits. We slept at like 4:30 in the morning. Like this is insane, but I'm really proud of the work that we've done and the amount of things that I've learned. I think we've both learned about like our own communities living in our countries and all that. So yeah, I'm really proud of us. I guess I'll popcorn it to, let's see who else is up. You see? Akriti?
Thank you, Chao. So I think honestly, I'm really happy to be a part of this. I'm a senior and this is my first time doing this at Soka. And this variety of like, we're talking about stargazing at one point, we're talking about elephants at one point, and we're talking about menstrual products in Vietnam, and it's all over the place. And it just shows like how everyone has like their projects that they're very much passionate about. And I'm really happy about seeing all that. And I'm really happy or hopeful actually, to see all these projects being implemented at one point in the future. And of course that's going to happen. So I'm really happy to be a part of this and very hopeful at the same time. I will popcorn to Anjan.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks to my team member. I think we put in some works.
Anjan, for some reason we cannot hear you. Or it could be me, sorry.
We can hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, team, and obviously and also thanks to Soka for giving us the platform to at least practice once before, practice the pitch before the presentation, and it's very encouraging to see so many ideas, and I wish all of the teams success in coming days. And I'll popcorn to Anthony. Is Anthony gone already?
So Anthony's my partner. So I think he's having a quick break. So he says he's going to be back so soon. He's having a very short break. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I'm going to grab some lunch. I'm so excited to have participated in this competition. I've learned so much from all of the participants through your pitches, and I'm, even motivated further to work hard to, solve many of the societal issues we face now. So thank you to all of the organizers for putting this together, and thank you to the judges for your insightful questions. And I look forward to learning more and gaining some more mentorship. Thank you.
We can continue. I just wanted to alert you that there's a link in the chat that is for a People's Choice Award. So it is to to one of your peers, to one of your colleagues and your other folks that have been in Impactathon with you. So you can take a moment and just fill that out. It's just a Google form. It's also on the dashboard. And so just you can go ahead and do that real quick as well. And sorry, and who else hasn't gone? I want the flow to continue. How about Finley Rose? I remember meeting Finley Rose on day one. So Finley Rose, would love to hear your quick thoughts. Or maybe people are stepping away for lunch. How about Nug? Did you go yet?
Hi. Well, for me, this past few days has been crazy, and well, I learned a lot about teamwork, and well, finding team was really difficult at first, but it just happened somehow. And like meeting people of so different characteristics and trying to work together, but it was really great. And also today, hearing all the pitches, it was amazing, like all the things, the different things that people are passionate about. It was really knowledgeable. Thank you. I'm not sure who has not spoken, so.
If you haven't spoken, feel free to just unmute and share if you would like to.
So thank you everyone for organizing a very meaningful event. It's very racy the past few days. Like I also didn't have enough sleep last night, and our team has to work hard to finish the pitch deck and also the prototype for our app. And we don't have the technological experience. So first we want to go to do the demo on Figma and learn tutorial on YouTube to do that, but that is so time consuming, so we switched to another platform. But I'm happy that we have something to show, so to demonstrate how our ideas look like. And I also learned a lot from other participants today, from your passion and also your ideas to create social impact. So I'm very happy to become a part of this competition. I'm not so sure who else.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share a word or two of how they feel?
Yeah, hi everyone. I feel so grateful to be part of this. And past few days, as everyone had said, has been so full of overwhelming contents, and to be honest, I was pretty skeptical in the beginning yesterday about how everything would turn up to, because as we were discussing about ideas and also in the problem tree session and all those, many people were not yet so sure about what they will be looking at into, but looking and hearing the pitches today, all of us had to make it. It was so amazing. I just feel so happy to be part of this, and I hope, yeah, all these projects will get into filled at one time in future, and we can bring a lot of positive impact in the world.
Great. I'll just share a few words. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so excited. I don't know, for me, I think one really great thing about doing something like this is that you can see if you thrive in a situation like this. A lot of pressure, very compressed, not too much direction. As much as direction there's a lot of, there could be lots of times of confusion and pivoting. And some people can find that they just don't function well in that. They don't like that feeling. But for me, after my first one, I was like, I love that feeling. I love that feeling of, and even though every single time I'm in a hackathon or even with Impactathon, even as an organizer, there are points when you're like, we're not going to make it. We're not going to get to the finish line. But somehow I think because there is a finish line, we get to it. And I think in some ways, I feel like with social entrepreneurship, some of the issues that we're talking about are so important that we almost need to create finish lines. Otherwise, we'll never achieve those things. We need to create that pressure, and we need to smash into each other and form different teams with our different perspectives. And I think these kinds of experiences allow us to rapidly sprint, and get to know each other. And I love that Anthea and Anthony came back, because sometimes you do one and you think about it differently, and the best way to do it is come back and do something different. And then you see how you are, how the idea is. So I hope this is the beginning, or if not, I hope it was before you committed a life to entrepreneurship, now you know that, hey, this is not comfortable. I don't feel good in this. But if you do, maybe you'll become like Nisha and become like, start 7 social enterprises through the course of your career, or go, actually Yoko hasn't shared her story, and maybe Yoko, you'd like to. Yoko's kind of like a social entrepreneur who is part of a social cause, and now is taking that lens into a company. So you can also become a social entrepreneur and innovate within an organization. Mary Patrick Kavanagh is also a social entrepreneur. She's started many different companies and ideas, and she's taking that energy into B2B. So I'm excited for you all, and I hope you stay in touch with me for sure, but with each other, because once you find people who like hackathons, it's so fun to let each other know, hey, there's another one going on, or the UCI competition that's coming up. I think because in every time you have to think about your idea differently, and they'll create different parameters. Like here we had a 5-minute pitch, in the future, they may have another set of parameters or constraints. And then you have to say, how do we thrive in that? So that's great. Yoko, if you would like to introduce yourself a little bit, people may not know you. So if you would like to, feel free to.
Hi, so thank you, Nito. So I'm a lawyer and in Japan and the US, and I've been helping victims of crime for more than 10 years. But then what an individual can do is so limited. So I thought I joined this company, the Kinton, the subsidiary of Cyber, the Japanese company, to make bigger impact to the society. And then now we try to create the organization to help entrepreneurs who try to achieve social impact, and then so that we can make difference to the society. So I'm so impressed that you guys are so young. I didn't think about anything when at your age. So yeah, so thank you, Nito.
Thank you. And did everyone vote for People's Choice? I know people are joining after. I don't know if you can still see the past chats, but I'll repost. But there is a form you can post for your, you can vote for your fellow classmates. While we're here, if anyone who did the UCI program wants to share a little bit about that experience, that might be helpful. I know teams are very tired right now, so it's not like you have to start today. You'll get a chance to sleep and rest, but just to know how is that different than that, because that's a much longer. That's a longer period of time, I think. So maybe how that experience is a little different might be helpful to share. So feel free to unmute and share.
I think, yeah, it definitely is over a longer period of time. So you have a lot more time to do more research and to help make your, I guess, business ideas stand out more. And you have access to like mentors and a lot of just different resources to help you. I guess if you don't have enough background in like finance, you have enough resources to help you just learn to do that and then help you like pitch stronger. And so I definitely recommend that. And it's like over, I guess like 2-3 months. And so you have time to attend the different workshops that they offer and get feedback and improve each and every like time you decide to pitch. So.
That's great. So hopefully there were not so many sleepless nights because it was spread over. I have a funny story. Shalini, who you guys have been meeting, she's been supporting. We met at a hackathon, as I mentioned, and we had a really cool idea around, it's called Girls to Code, which would create coding exercises and games and for anyone, but we were kind of targeting girls or women to code, and then they could get rewards for shopping. So as a way to make it more fun and interesting. So we did one hackathon and then we did another one. And then on the second one, it was a 2-day hackathon, and we all thought we're gonna go there and then like drive back home and come back. But of course, just like you guys, the energy was crazy. I literally slept in my car that night because there was not time. We wouldn't have time to go home and come back. So we were just, it was like so crazy. We were just like trying to grab hours of sleep and saying, okay, well, you sleep next, then I'll sleep after, and like, just taking turns. I'm sure you guys also did some of that. But the crazy thing is, you don't mind. I don't know if I feel like I would never do that on my own. Like I wouldn't have the stamina, but when you're with the team and everybody's working, I feel like there's a special energy that's like there. So I think yeah, I love creating this for you guys, but I also would love to just roll up my sleeves and be on your teams, because I love that energy of being in a team. I think it's really awesome. So, and I know a couple of people like Jerry and some other folks have their own social enterprises. So I'm curious, after this experience and you go back to your own company, if it gives you a new perspective, and just a fresh set of eyes, to look at your own company. So that'll be fun to see. I'm going to check in real quick and see how our judges are doing. If anybody is better at DJing than me, feel free to share. I don't know if you know how to do this, to share your sound audio and play some music that we could all enjoy. I feel like you guys are probably have better taste in music and have it all queued up on your computers. But basically all you do is you go to share screen and you click on it, and then you go to advanced, and then there's a computer audio button. Then that'll just share your audio. It won't share your video, or you won't share your screen as well. But would anyone like to DJ for a little while and just kind of get us ready for the judging results? Anyone a music aficionado amongst us? Well, if you are, or if you want to queue up your music, you can do that. Otherwise, I will queue up, and I'll just see where these guys, how they're doing. Oh, okay, everyone's back.
All right, to To the best of your abilities, turn your cameras on. We're in the Performing Arts Center now. The judges have handed me the final results. And first of all, I think we still have 3 judges left in the room, but keep in mind they're already working overtime. So they're going to be bowing out from here. But if they're still here when I announce the prizes, then they will chime in any comments they have. But we have 2 first place winners because we didn't have a community project. I would like to announce that the first place winner, hang on so I get to the right page. Can I have a drum roll, please? Do we have any musical?
I forgot to bring my drum set, Mary.
We got to get these special effects if we keep going back on Zoom. Okay, the first one, I think I should start at second place, huh? We should build up. Okay, sorry for the big tease. So the first of 2 second place prizes goes to Food for Fund. Woo! Congratulations, Food for Fund. You will be getting a $250 stipend. And judges, any comments?
Just an absolute great idea. And again, as we talked about as judges, like it is something that is, a massive challenge that we know you guys are undertaking, but we didn't want you to feel like just because it's a massive challenge, it wasn't important, and it is. And it's something that we get new eyes on this problem. Perhaps you guys can create a more efficient solution. So congratulations.
All right, thank you. And our second prize of $250 goes to AhotɔHealth. Woo! Congratulations, AhotɔHealth. Great job. Judges, any comments?
We love what you're trying to do with giving access to healthcare for patients, and I think we think it can be scaled to lots of different countries around the world that are suffering through the same circumstances. So good luck, and we're all here to support you.
Congratulations. Okay. And then we have a special prize, the team most ready to go to market. And that is going unanimously to Govvy for even having your app ready for us to view. I especially like the fireworks at the end. And we do believe that you are going to automate things in Vietnam, and we're going to hope to replicate it here in the United States, because I just had to spend a lot of time at the DMV. So any more comments for Govvy?
Just a great idea. That's yeah, and I think that we were thinking about sort of compliance and security, and was made aware that the U.S. compliance and security requirements are huge hurdles, and they may not be hurdles for you guys. So depending the country that you're in, so you might have a much smoother process than I was anticipating.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone, drum roll for the first place prizes. We have 2 first place prizes. And before I give these out, honestly, you all did such an extraordinary job in such a short period of time. This was a tough choice, but first place prize goes to Embracing the Red. Woo! Let's make the word menstruation popular everywhere and cause no red in the cheeks for any men. We say it, let's all say menstruation together, shall we? Menstruation! Interesting that the word men is right embedded in menstruation.
I was just going to ask that question. Can we?
It's not women's menstruation, okay, men?
It's not woman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get with it.
Because a man made up that word. That's why.
Right, exactly, Tom. You just proved these ladies' point. It's all about patriarchy.
Exactly.
We're all changing it. Tom's got a daughter who might be kicking his butt around. Okay, the next and last first place prize goes to, and I am going to attempt to pronounce this correctly, Enjovu paper. Woo! Congratulations for turning life's crap into compost, into paper. That's fantastic. And we did we say it correctly? Did I say it correctly?
Yeah, Enjovu. It's an Enjovu.
And Enjovu. Well, you know, your competitor poo-poo paper is easier to say, but yours is classier. Okay. Any comments?
Well, I just wanted to say to all of you thank you so much for taking the time to pitch. It does take courage to come up with an idea and be willing to share it with all of us. And I know you only had, you know, so few hours to work on it. So we appreciate where you are in the process, and all of us are so thrilled and impressed, and we're here for support and help, and we can point you in the right direction if nothing else. So congratulations to you all, and keep doing it. Like keep coming up with ideas. You really will find you have the best solutions to the problems. So thank you so much. And I've got a jet to pick up my kids, but I'm sure you can all find me on LinkedIn or email me or whatever. Okay. It's an open door.
Thank you so much. And I realize there's one more prize. Shaheen, bye-bye. Thank you. We have the People's Choice Award.
Oh. Yes. Maybe I will pass the stage to Shalini. And I also want to say thank you to the event team, includes Ioana and Shalini. They've been amazing. So Shalini, if you want to also just say a few words of what this experience is like, and then if you want to share the People's Choice results, that would be great.
Fun. Yeah, it was very awesome that in a short period of time, you all had a wonderful pitch and great to hear a lot of ideas. It was very inspiring for me too. So let's see the People's Choice. The vote would go. So how it's gonna go? It's depending on the vote. The People's Choice is Enjovu paper.
Yay!
Yeah.
Wow, big win today for Enjovu paper. And just so you all know too, we're going to have a celebration. I've got a tray of sushi being delivered to me right now. So I'm going to say goodbye to you and thank you to our judges who are left. Tom, you could be eating with us here. Isabel, maybe next year in person, huh?
You betcha.
I'm going to run downstairs because someone keeps texting me that there's a tray of sushi downstairs. So it will be in Gandhi. Right outside Gandhi, we'll have sushi and drinks for you. So we hope you come by and get your certificate. Tom and Isabel, thank you so much. And thank you
everybody. Best of luck to you all.
Congrats, everybody. Hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone. We can do jazz hands, everyone. Great job. And we'll see all the Soka students on campus.